Today I come to you flanked by my shame. I wanted to talk about consciously consuming and holding myself accountable for the amount that I am consuming. This beside me is every single book that I purchased in 2025. It doesn't include anything that I was gifted by lovely friends and family. It is just the books that I myself have purchased. And in my head, I thought I hadn't done too badly this year. I have been very consciously trying not to buy new books for my shelves. And I had sort of given myself the allowance of books that relate to what I'm studying and books that I've already read but that I didn't own because I'd read them from the library and I wanted a copy on my shelf. And that's what I really thought I had done. But when I started to add up everything that I had bought and I went through my shelves to work out what I bought this year, I was really surprised to discover that I have 50 books in these stacks. So that is almost a book per week, and particularly considering I'm only filming this at the beginning of December, the fact that I have 50 books here is quite shocking. So I want to take you through what some of these books are and why they were bought and look at the numbers rather than telling you too much about the blurbs of them. If you want to know anything about these books, please do let me know in the comments. I am now going to take them down because I'm really worried they're going to fall. They're quite precarious. Okay, I've pulled some numbers and I'm going to hold them up as little stacks to show you what I've got. Right, my first stack, quite heavy. This stack of 13. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Yes, so there's 13 books. I've just forgotten to pick up one, which is The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. But this stack represents all the books that I've purchased that are directly or indirectly related to what I've been studying at university. So it might be that, for instance, early modern women's writing, I've been directly using this anthology to annotate, to study in my classes. We've been using the authors in there. Or Francis Bacon's The Essay. I'm doing an assignment based on his writings. But then other things like Percy Shelley's collection, I only purchased because I really enjoyed studying him last semester. The Fantastics, I really enjoyed studying the metaphysical poets a couple of years ago. So some of these are slightly less directly, but they are inspired by what I have learned or what I'm currently learning. The Story of Nature I'm slowly working through for my landscape history course, but that's just because I want to read that. So that's what this stack represents. All the stuff that I've purchased because of university, either because I am actually studying it or because it relates to what I'm studying. Now, stack number 2 is related. Oh, Jesus. So this is stack number 2, and this is what I might refer to as my personal curriculum choices. So I want to learn about modernism in writing. I want to learn how to be a better writer myself because I enjoy writing and I've enjoyed learning about the essay format. So I have Montaigne's collection as well. These are books that I've purchased, most of them secondhand, but I have purchased all of these because they're things that I want to learn about. And there are 8 books in this stack. The next stack I'm going to show you, these are the books that I've purchased to read with my kids. There are 5 here, and of these 5, we have read 3, so we have 2 left to read. We're currently actually working through the Northern Lights collection, which we've borrowed from a friend, so it's a bit on hold reading off of our own shelves, but yeah. Next stack. This stack represents books that I've read where I either didn't own it, or in the case of this top one, I'll tell you in a minute, but where I didn't own it, I'd read it from the library or something like that, and I wanted to own my own copy because I really loved these books. So all of these I highly recommend if you wanted to have a look at any of these or you want me to tell you more about them in another video. I loved these books. Now the one on top, I do already own a copy of Brideshead Revisited, but I loved this cover so much that I needed an extra copy. It was in the Blickling secondhand shop, and isn't it just beautiful? So I now own 2 copies of this, which is a bit much, but that was like a bit of a lust purchase. So that's 11 that I've already read, and I've added the book to my collection. So now the next 3 that I'm going to share with you are related. We have 2 books that I purchased after seeing the author speak at author events. Both of these authors were talking at the National Centre for Writing, which is in Norwich. It is an amazing place. It's at Dragon's Hall, which is a medieval building, and it's just magnificent. But I saw a couple of the authors from the Bog People talk. Brilliant. They read out parts of their stories. It was amazing. And then The Seers by Suleiman Adonia. I've read one of his books before. He talks about migration stories. So the book I've read from him is called Silence is My Mother Tongue. And then hearing him talk about the creative process between writing that and this one, I just felt like I needed to own this one as well. What a lovely man. So those are the 2 I bought from Author Talk. So I did buy these full price. Then I purchased the second book in a series where I've read the first book and I loved the first book so much. So I haven't read this one yet, but it's the second in a series, so I want to read it. And then related to both of those stacks is this stack, which is another sort of unread pile, but these are all just books that I bought just because I was in secondhand bookshops. All of them except Heartburn, Dreamwork and The Hall were secondhand. Those are the only 3 on this stack that were brand new. So I've got the 2 poetry collections on top. Heartburn I have read since purchasing it, so it's one of the few books that I've read in year, but the rest of them were just, I was in a charity shop, I saw the book and I felt compelled to buy it. So that is 10 mood picks. Okay, so that's all my stacks, but the other thing I want to split it down into is I've purchased 6 poetry books. I'm not going to rearrange them now, but there's 6 poetry books in here. I can pick up a couple off the top. So Mary Oliver, Holly Howitt, The Hall, The Deserted Village by Oliver Goldsmith. I am making a conscious effort to read more poetry because I really enjoy studying poetry. When I come to do my assignments at university, I most commonly pick poems to write about, even though before I went to university, I thought I really didn't like poetry. So it's something I'm trying to explore more and work out what it is that I like about poetry. Then out of this collection there's 12 non-fiction books, so that might be essay collections, or it might be something like Cloven Country, The Devil and the English Landscape, again really old essay collections, or you know, the only sort of self-help almost book, Reading Like a Writer. Those are the sorts of things that are in my non-fiction collection, but a lot of those relate to things that I want to study or I'm studying at university. I then have 4 short story collections, including Bog People, which I haven't read, Eastmouth, which I have and loved, The Beginning of the World in the Middle of the Night, loved. What's the other short story collection? I've written 4. What's the other one? Okay, maybe I mean 3 then. I'm sure Anyway, short story collections. And then 8 of these are classic novels. So we've got Daniel Defoe's Robinson Crusoe, which I read for university. Or, well, do you know what? I haven't finished it yet. I need to finish it, and I will finish it. Other classics. Other classics. I've got Thomas Mann's The Magic Mountain, Doris Lessing's Briefing for a Descent into Hell, Hotel du Lac by Anita Bruckner. I've got all sorts in here. So, yes, I just wanted to hold myself accountable. I wanted to set out exactly what I'm buying, and I cannot believe that it is almost a book a week, even if it is from charity shops, even if they are secondhand. That is a lot considering I have so many books on my shelves all ready to read. Yeah, so you won't see normal book hauls from me. I will just, every now and then, if I have bought books, I will pop them into vlogs, but I'm not going to be doing massive book hauls, but this is sort of the extent of what I will do. I just want to hold myself accountable because this is too much. And if I actually want to read down my shelves, I need to stop buying this many books a year.